Okay. So first time we start, this is the overview screen which will be shown. Okay. And from here you can select one of the perspectives. Okay. So let's start with the perspective which I have already here for you. Okay. I've just divided the screen so that I can see the presentation as well as this thing. Okay. So now when you come into this perspective, you have views. You have got many perspectives which are different. You have got and these perspectives are based on roles. Now in HANA Studio or in HANA, not Studio, in HANA, I've got many kinds of perspectives or roles. Basically, you can be a system administrator role. You can have a system administrator role where you monitor the HANA database, where you monitor you give the users the roles, create users roles, create roles, etc. Okay. Then you have got another role which is the role of a consultant. The consultant's role is to be a modeler, data modeler. He creates the views information model, and from the information model he creates ABAP programs connecting to this information model and create reports, which is finally given can be done as a transaction and given it to the user. Another role is an application development role, where you can create your own small applications built on the information models, and which you can it will be as a separate application to the user, not through your nor standard SAP build. Okay, so these are the three major different kind of roles which you can have, and I'll just one second. I'll just do a slideshow for you. So this is basically the view, or this is basically start after you select a view. So here you can see. So see, this is a view, 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 this is a view. Okay. So basically, this particular system, this is also view. So now, how do you get these perspectives? Okay. So you get these perspectives from from here Windows perspective. Okay. Can have open perspective. Most of the common perspective is either you have a development or a modeler, and you can have other perspectives. Lot of perspectives, ABAP. You can actually open your ABAP programs from this HANA Studio. Okay, and you have HANA ABAP connectivity, profiling, business warehouse. Lot of perspectives are there. You can have Java development done from here. Okay, so you can have mostly this Java development and all is for developing your own applications. Okay, you can open various perspectives. Now here I have actually opened two perspectives. One is the administration console and another is the HANA modeler. Okay. Now you can create your own custom views. You can drag and drop your perspectives the way you want. Okay. You can size, resize, and you can also customize your views. So you can customize your views according to the way you want. What all things you need. So here this is the navigator. Within the navigator you have so many contents, okay, that you can select and decide what all you want to show to the user. Okay. So that is how you customize your views, and you can also reset your perspective. You reset your perspective as you want. Okay. Now normally when you select the system perspective, I will show you now how to add a system. Now here you see the system. There's H10, HDB. These are all different HANA systems. You can add a system. All you have to do is initially when you select the system perspective, there will be blank. So you can add a perspective here. You can say add system. Okay. And what are the details you need to add a system? The first one is the host name. Host name is the HANA system which is there on which server it is loaded. Like it can be an IP address or it can be a host name. Then you need an instance number. This instance number where you'll get all this information from your basis team or your HANA administrator. Okay, and the mode. Most normally it will be for a small and medium enterprise it will be a single container, or if it is a big enterprise it will have multiple containers. You will have multiple HANA systems based on which you can, and then all these multiple systems will be connected to a tenant database. That means the database which is going to monitor all these multiple containers. But for a small medium enterprise, it is all normally will be a single container. Okay. So, like for example, I will not add this system because does not exist. I am just showing to you so that you can see the next screen also. And then you say next. Description, you can put any description you want. Just say next. Then here you will be asked for the username and password of the database. So maybe I can say system and give some password. It will not connect because I'm putting the wrong password. And then say finish. So it will try to test the connection. Now since the password is wrong, it will say, do you want the system to be attached? So I am saying no now, and when you actually say yes, the system will show here like this. Now HDB is the database name and system is the user. So this is how you will find the system. You can add as many systems as you have in your landscape. And the one I showed you is a manual system. Okay, how to add manually. There is another way which you can do a landscape import. But this landscape import can be done only if you have got a XML file generated from a landscape export from another system. You can import it, but you need to have a XML file generated already from that system. Then you can do how you can do is you can do a file import, then choose SAP HANA, and then you'll have this landscape. Okay. So this is since I don't have anything to show you, I'm just showing you the path. So this is how you can add a system to your perspective. So as I just mentioned, this is the HANA name, TV name, user name. Now, what is under this? Under this, there are various folders, which is the backup. This backup can be created when the backup is created. This we will learn in the administrator module, which I have just kept it after doing modeling. We'll go into that, and that time we will see this. So this is what all backups you have created will be listed in this. Then there is catalog. Catalog is nothing but you'll have within the database various schemas created for various uses by SAP. Now, one of them is this SAP ERP. SAP ERP is nothing but your ECC. Okay. Now, in this ECC, normally SAP when it creates, it's the database is named as SAP, and the last three letters is your system identifier. That is your SIN. So if you see here, this is SAP style, and here the ECC is loaded as SID is ERP. Now in this you can find various views, models, then you have tables. Now all the 50,000 odd tables are loaded in this, and you need to find only the first 200 or 300 is loaded in this. But if you want to find a table, you can go right click on this, say find table, and let's say we want to find the common. What is the common? The Mara table. Okay, so Mara, and you can find it is also a fuzzy search done by HANA. Fuzzy search means the whatever you type here, all the list tables which is having Mara will be shown here. So you can see now what we need to see is we need to see the SAP ERP Mara table, which is here. Okay, so you can click this and the table is opened on to your right hand side. So this is how you can find a table. You can close that particular table like this just by clicking this cross, and you can find tables. The synonyms are the triggers, views, indexes. There are really certain indexes for the row base, the procedures. All these are here. You can find it in this. We'll learn this later. There is just I am giving you an overview of the HANA Studio. Okay. So this is the catalog, and catalogs all the schemas based on the user are created. Now here you can see there is a schema named after a user within, and you can find in any tables created he has created. Okay, so there is the table, 3 tables he has created. So there is how. So the schema is under a user, all the tables, procedures, triggers, sequences, functions, if any, can see it under this. Now next is the content. Content is normally used by the models or the HANA consultant. When you say HANA consultant means basically he will be a model, or you'll have a HANA architect. When you say HANA architect means he should be knowing the administration, the modeling, and the application development. So these are the basic two basic levels of HANA. When you get certification. So what we are doing is for a consultant. And I'll tell you the certificate name later. And for that you can, there is, yesterday I showed you in the slide the documents, so which are for the certification. So now we are right now under the modeler role. Okay, so here a modeler will normally create all the models in the content folder. Okay, so now let's see some models under this. Okay, not this one. Okay, let me check. Okay, one second. Okay, just let's see one of this. So you can create a package. This is your main package. Under this main package, you can have sub packages. Can create as many sub packages you want, and under this view, start creating views. Views are nothing but modelers. So you're got an attribute view, analytic view, calculation view. This you will start learning from tomorrow. Okay. So this is how a modeling is created, and modeling is created under the content folder. Now provisioning. Provisioning is nothing but when you want to have data from remote systems, other systems, other than, even can be a HANA, it can be a SAP, it can be of any other database. And so you can utilize this provisioning for this. Data provisioning, you can pull data from other sources. Okay. This also will be learning at the administrative role. Then you have security. Security is nothing but creating users and assigning roles. Okay. So this is what basically the system perspective will show you. And over and above this, once you will save a file, you will be asked to save it as a workspace. Now what is this workspace? Workspace is nothing but an environment in which your whatever files you're using in the project, or your views, all this what we are creating in this will be saved into your local directory. So you can, when you want to start the next time, you can open workspace. You can have many workspaces also. In many workspaces, you can have one workspace for your analytical, you can have one workspace for your application development, you can have one workspace for, I mean, you can create your workspace logically, and you can have many workspaces. But all your logical, the packages or the applications you develop will be stored in that workspace. So this is, let's go to the next slide. Okay, well, now whenever you want to create, and if you have got multiple systems, like in your landscape, you will have a develop, you will have a quality, and you will have a production. So no, you will only do your development in your development schema. So you have to have a schema mapping. So the schema mapping you can do, I'll just enlarge this. there is something called as a quick view. Okay, you can increase or decrease it as you like. Now here there is something called as schema mapping. So always uh, whenever you want to develop something package or views or applications, you click first you have to select in which schema you want to build in. So you can select it into the which schema you want to connect to it. Okay. So now let us go back to the presentation as well. Okay. So that is what is called as schema mapping. Then basically schema mapping means you select the schema in which you want to develop any of these packages or any of these views. Okay. Then I just talked about models. Models are nothing but views. These models are actually organized in the content perspective, and each model, this is a schema. You can, but it is not advised to, as per the SAP business standard practices. You never should develop in the development. So all this, whether we can develop in the development is also defined by your basis or the administrator. You can be restricted based on your roles. You can be restricted to do any development in the development landscape. You can only, in your production. Everything is done through your development. Even in the test, in your quality, you should not develop. As per SAP standard practices, you cannot do that. But based on a particular emergency, or you don't get a workaround, you're in an emergency situation, if your administrator allows you, you can do it in production. But normally in development, you can do all the package development. And what are the things you can do it in that is, you can create an attribute view, analytical view, calculation view, you can have procedures, you can have decision tables. Okay, procedures are nothing but procedures are done when these three views will not help you for your use case. And decision tables are used for, let's say as an example, to find the best discount to be given to a customer. So you can decide to give for a customer, you can give a discount based on certain parameters and also in a certain order. So those are the decision tables. Yeah, these all things can be created under the content. Now, other than the content, you can have application development. Now this application development is run on extended application servers, which is embedded into the HANA database. Okay, so it is called as access development, but the full form is extended application server. It is used for developing your own development, your own application development. Possibly, as an example, we can develop something which is not there in SAP, and you want to, like, for example, in your case, Sagar and Riaz, you have this small application developed separately on BB. That is our Waybridge management system. This also you can develop as your own application separately using Java and the extended application server. So there is another form which right now I don't have it here. And normally any project which needs a system which SAP cannot or SAP standard doesn't have anything to deliver, like this Weybridge management system. We can do it in this HANA Studio using extended application server and Java. Okay. Okay. So this is what actually I had planned today. So you have any questions? Hello. Any questions? Okay, I am accessing HANA uh, through a service provider which I am using for my practicing. So this I have connected to the remote system. I've got a username and ID. So I am accessing through that. If you need it, I'll send it. Anyway, Sagar and Rias has, maybe if Praveen wants to practice, I can send the details to him. There are only certain things you'll have to maintain, which I'll provide you in the mail. Okay. Any other question? Basically, this is just was an introduction for SAP HANA Studio. What all things you can do it in that, and you can actually explore many things in that. You can go and explore file. You can explore all these menus, and if you have anything, we can discuss on that. You can create projects. These projects are created for. You can also do a debug in this, and you can do ABAP programming as well as ABAP debugging in that. Uh, yeah, I will do that. Praveen, just put your email in this so I can send you directly. Okay, fine. I'll do that. I also recorded this session. I'll send you the links to download that also, uh, so that which it's a remote. I'm connected to a remote desktop.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, when we open HANA Studio, we are giving a path. We are giving a folder inside our PC.
Yeah,
I think Sagar is asking about that, whether if it crashes, what will happen to the system?
system nothing happens. This is just a client tool. This is just a client tool. The system, if your server crashes, this also will go. I mean, you will not be able to connect. But if this particular
Our
studio
developments
crashes, nothing will happen.
will be there, right? Our developments will be saved.
No, no. Actually, the development is also stored into the database. You will have a local object as well as in what is there on the server. So this we are talking of these packages, right? This.
No, when we open
Your voice,
when-
your voice is breaking here.
now when we open HANA Studio, we give a path, right?
Ah, this one,
SDB
right?
Studio,
This one.
something
This
like
one.
that.
Okay,
What is
okay.
the purpose of that?
This is the purpose to create your this is nothing but your what is the HANA database stored on your server.
I was just open once.
Pardon? Say all these things what you see here, these are stored in the database. It is just retrieving the.
Okay.
It is just a front end
I
tool.
have internet.
Uh, can you type the question once again? You are asking me what is this purpose? Yeah, this adding system, right? You are asking me about this. Hello, hello, hello. This one, this one. We're talking about this. Okay, that is the folder. I think that is normally used. I'm not sure. I'll still come back to you on this. But it is showing as a root folder of your system, and this normally will be used when we use this. And this by default we don't change. I'll just come back to you on this also. But when we connect to the system, what we use is this host name, which is your server, the instance, and this single container. This is what we have there also. But in multiple containers, you have many systems like 0001, 02, 03, and all these are connected to one tenant database, which is the administrative of all that other instances. Okay? Or you can have a system database also. I'll come back to you on this, why folder is used. Okay, but you can just check, not a problem. I think for the instances you need to, whatever instance you are connecting, now this is connected to the root system. But if you have anything, and that normally is used for this multiple containers. But I'm not too sure of that. I'll confirm this to you. Okay. Anything? So are you clear on the HANA Studio? Hello?
Hello.
Tell me. Yes.
Hello.
Your voice is breaking in between. Type the question.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Huh?
Yeah, the quality of the network is very poor. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anything you want to know in today's this thing? Like add a system or perspectives. Please type in the questions. If the audio quality is not clear, please type in the questions. Hello? If no questions, then we can wind up. But Praveen? Okay. So we'll start tomorrow 7:30, and tomorrow the actual actions will start by creating views and other things. Okay. So this yesterday and today was more or less basic introduction to the HANA. Okay. So good evening everybody. We'll meet tomorrow by 7:30.